Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to be presenting my nonverbal communication paper. Sorry, I was on the wrong slide, forgive me. But yeah, let's start. Woohoo! Okay, introduction. What is nonverbal communication? So, a lot of us will probably already know this, but it's our facial, our gestures, our space, the way we present ourselves to others, and it could be like a number of things, right? It doesn't have to be one, it could be many. How we use nonverbal communication with clothing and our physical appearance, and what it can tell others. So we use nonverbal communication with our clothing and our appearance in a number of ways. We can tell people's social class by it, we can tell people's emotions, and we can also tell their cultural background sometimes, right? So this is the introduction. We got the first body. So the first body, we're going to talk about social class. So when we think about social class and how people present themselves non-verbally, it can tell us a lot about them. But at the same time, you don't want to be stereotyping or assuming anything about anyone's life. But at the same time, it's kind of hard not to put people in boxes. So it's difficult. But yeah, so I'm going to be talking about different social classes and how they present themselves to other people. So when we see a person who is like typically homeless or like below the poverty line, they are probably not well put together. They probably are lacking on their hygiene, not because they want to, but because they are probably lacking the resources they need to survive, right? So a lot of the times homeless people will not be put together and they'll just be struggling, right? So in this image, you see them like living in tents and stuff. And then we got the middle class people. And you can tell who's like middle class people because like we're just average people like trying to live. We are more well put together like in appearance. Like we have hygiene, or at least I hope we would. At least I do. But you know, some people out there still need to work on the hygiene aspect. But we're a little bit better at it because we have the resources that we need as middle class. We still struggle, but we still make ends meet, right? And then another nonverbal cue you can get with someone's social class is if they're wearing expensive brands that other people cannot really get and they're not really attainable to other people. So for instance, like rich people, famous people, they often wear like really expensive brands like Gucci or Louis Vuitton, not really accessible to like the general population. And by just looking at a person, you can tell who they are or where they stand socially on the hierarchy, right? Okay, another thing that nonverbal communication can tell others about the way we present ourselves is our mental state, right? So when we are feeling happy mentally, we tend to wear like colorful colors, like pink, blue, yellow, like bright colors, right? And usually when we are not going through a good time, we wear darker clothing, and there's nothing wrong with like wearing black clothing. Like I wear black clothing a lot, but sometimes it makes you assume that maybe people are going through a lot or they're struggling with something, because like say if you have like a friend who's always wearing like colorful stuff and then one day they come into work wearing nothing but black, you can assume that they are, you know, not going through a good time in their life, right? But never assume anything. And so in the article, I like this quote because it said, the link between clothing choices and emotional states explains women who are depressed or sad are more likely to wear baggy tops, jeans, and a sweatshirt or jumper. Women who are happy or positive are more likely to wear a favorite dress, jewelry, and jeans. By Weaver Renee. Sorry, I probably butchered that. But yeah, it's basically true. When you're more happy, you want to show off your body more. You like to wear more tight stuff. You like to wear your favorite pair of jeans, your favorite dress, right? Compared to when you're feeling sad or like depressed, you don't want to wear bright clothing. You want to be like covered up. You want to, you know, not show yourself to the world. And by you doing this, you are giving off nonverbal cues that you're not really approachable compared to a person who is wearing like more bright clothing and like prettier stuff that is more like fitting to the body. When people wear these kind of things, they tend to be more approachable, because like would you rather approach someone who's like wearing a bright pink dress over someone who's like wearing dark clothing? And I'm not saying that people who wear dark clothing is a bad thing, but like who's more approachable in that situation? Like, what are you telling people in a nonverbal way? You're saying, hey, I don't want to be talked to right now. Like when you're wearing dark stuff, right? Or you're wearing baggy clothes, like you're covering up your body. You're just like getting off that like instinct, like, hey, I'm not really feeling good, like, please leave me alone, compared to the person who are wearing tight clothing or bright colored clothing. They're more approachable, seem more friendly, right? You get my drift. Another thing I want to add on to mental state is how you appear. So if you are well kept, keep your hygiene. If you're like these ladies over here, your hair looks nice, your makeup's good, you're more approachable compared to people who are like have bedhead and haven't combed their hair. You can tell that maybe they're going through something, or they're just like not taking care of themselves, And another thing that your clothing and your physical appearance can tell others is your cultural background. So we can tell a lot about people when they wear certain things, like women who wear hijabs are usually Muslim. I'm not completely 100% sure if that's like accurate, but some of you, I don't know the religion, I'm sorry, but I'm assuming that women who wear hijabs are usually Muslim, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, please forgive me. And then for Chinese people, I'm Chinese, Asian, white and Chinese. I like wearing traditional like jade necklaces. I don't have one yet, but my sisters do, so they wear it all the time. And then Indian people, they always have these beautiful gowns, like as you can tell. And then I feel bad, but I put like the typical American, boy with like a flannel shirt on and stuff. And then I also put Native American people here. They usually wear like tribal clothing, and they also have these really beautiful like feathers and stuff. But yeah, it's their culture, and they all look beautiful no matter what, It's nice seeing people express their cultures and stuff. But yeah, let's talk about cultural background. So in the ebook Clothing Culture by Catherine Richardson, it states distribution of clothing bound individuals to each other or individuals to a group in a variety of socially useful and cultural important ways. So distributions of clothing bound individuals to each other or individuals to a group. So basically it's saying that when you have a certain group of people who are wearing like a certain like clothing, you can like put those group of people together, right? So non-verbally, these people are giving off the fact that, hey, I'm a part of this culture, this is what I relate to, like women who wear hijabs are like Muslim, people who are wearing like jade necklaces are Chinese, stuff like that. And in the ebook, this is another quote. In the ebook Nonverbal Communication, Science and Application by David Matsui, Mark G. Frank, and Hee-sun Wang, sorry, it's hard to pronounce that. The first evidence for cultural difference in expression. American and Japanese view highly stressful films alone. Americans continue to express their negative emotions. The Japanese were more likely to smile. So another way that you can tell who is like of what cultural background is by how they react to different situations. I know my transition there wasn't the best. I'm sorry, forgive me. But as you can tell, different cultures will react differently to different situations, like stressful situations or happy situations. And in this case, the American people were negative. They had negative emotions, right, compared to the Japanese people who were taught to be more polite and respectful. They kept smiling even though it made them feel uncomfortable watching a scary movie. In conclusion, right, so my thesis basically was that you can tell a lot about people from their nonverbal communication, such as their social culture, their emotional state, and their cultural background. So in conclusion, all these things can tell the world a lot about you. They can tell the world, how you're doing mentally, how you are doing on your social class, and how you're doing with your cultural background, right? They tell you who you are as a person, how much money you might make, and even your emotions for that day. So that's why it's very important to really think about what you wear on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this presentation. I'm so sorry it's kind of sloppy, but this is my citations. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you have a great day, and goodbye.